December 26, 2019, and the beginning of 2020. This is a video for Scorpio rising, Scorpio Ascendant. My name is G, and this is All Astrology, where we do subscriber-free readings. Every subscriber gets one high-quality reading. Comment your birth info below, and we'll hook you up. Make sure you tap the bell. I do not communicate through emails. When you tap the bell, that is how we can communicate. Because then when I've got a question, I can go ahead and tap, and I can comment, and then we're hooked up. We've got a line of communication set up. Now, October started, actually September and October, started this momentum, this movement of our soul bursting through. So here we are in November. It's November 12th, it's the full moon. And I have been strongly guided for all signs to talk about some of the events that are going to be occurring. And it's an evolutionary thing. If you've watched your November video, your November rising sign video, you can find it down below. And what you'll hear about is all the energies for this month. But what I want to emphasize is the end of the month. Okay? The end of the month, there is this galactic setup. It's Jupiter and Venus sitting on top of the galactic center. Basically, what that means is all the signs, all of us, are some way going to be receiving. We're going to be in a place of beautiful receptivity. Venus is beauty and abundance and goodness and peace and harmony. That's Venus. Jupiter expands things. Jupiter adds to things. Jupiter can also exaggerate things, okay? Now, it's going to be touching, they're all going to be sitting on top of the galactic center on the 23rd. The galactic center is source. The galactic center is source for this galaxy, okay? So it's as though we're receiving something. So you want to be in a super receptive place. Now, because we got Venus and Jupiter involved, it's a really good possibility you may literally be receiving something physically, something tangible, some money, a bonus. It depends on where this happens in your chart, and I do talk about that in the individual readings down below. Now, this is the aftermath, okay? This is what I've been instructed to talk about, the aftermath, the after that, right? Because a few days later, Venus will go into tangible Capricorn. This is a good thing. This means Venus is beauty, abundance, you know, all the good things that she brings. Venus likes shoes, she likes clothing, she just likes things, pretty things, beautiful things, high quality things. This is Venus. She's the ruler of Taurus. She's the ruler of Libra, okay? She likes peace, she likes harmony, she likes compatibility in relationships, right? So there could be some things that we receive on the 23rd and the 24th that feel as though, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true. Because Jupiter is involved, what I instructed everybody was to make sure that you wait until the end of the month, until like the 26th and after, until Venus goes into Capricorn, to have a more clear understanding of what it is you received. Okay? Was it a bunch of hot air? Was there an offer, and was it legit? You know, were you promised a raise? Were you promised a bonus? Were you told you were going to be receiving some money? Wait until things get in. Wait until Venus gets her butt into tangible, the real world Capricorn. Venus also then will be at a point where she won't be all about me, I want to buy. Because when Venus is going to be there on top of the galactic center, and then the very next day conjunct exactly with Jupiter on the 24th of November, there is a tendency to likely want to buy that which you didn't have. And because now you feel like, oh, I have some money I wasn't expecting. I've come into a little bit of money, right? And you just like, okay, I want to spend this. I want this. This is something I've got on my wish list and I want to get it, type of thing. And all I'm suggesting is that you wait a little bit further until Venus gets her butt into responsible Capricorn, where she understands, okay, I know I want this, but do I need it? And I understand that, you know, even though I may need or think I need this one particular thing, I have these other expenses I probably should take care of, because Capricorn is about being responsible. It's about doing things by the book, no cheating, just being legit. That's Capricorn, a high expression of Capricorn. So we want to I am advising, now you can do what you want, of course, you have free will, but to me, it's smart. It's the logical next step. It's like November's this, I'm intaking energy. I'm doing a receiving of information. I'm doing a receiving of abundance and beauty and goodness and gifts, right? This is like the most beautiful month of the year. And that weekend, 23rd, 24th, should be fascinating. And I really want to hear from people like, how did this look for you in your life? And I will definitely talk about it for myself and how this ends up being for me. So for my full moon, like the light just shined down. And for me, this stick to the tangible, stick to the material for people. Let them understand that don't let Jupiter flood you with thoughts of well, Jupiter can be guilty of propaganda. Jupiter can be, like I said, guilty of exaggeration, making things out to be greater than they really truly are. You know, the things that come are going to be good, but Jupiter can then take it and say, oh, but it actually looks like this, and make it just seem, you know, greater than it really is. Like we might think we have more than we actually have at that time because of whatever it is we receive. Maybe it's information. Maybe we get a letter in the mail and it's like, yeah, you're going to be the recipient of this and this and this. Wait till you actually get the check, right? Wait till the check's in the bank and deposited type of thing. In other words, don't spend what you don't have right at that moment. Okay, don't do anything like that. You kind of want to wait. So the only reason I'm mentioning this, because this is evolutionary, right? Our life and how this works. And when we look at the energy, when I look at a chart and I see this grid and I see, oh, I see where this is going next. And I see where it's going after that. Okay, so for Scorpio rising, Scorpio ascendant, you have this occurring in your, yeah, right? Get to the meat and potatoes. Where is this occurring in my life? This is happening in your third house. So I'll try to drop the astrology terms. If this happens in your third house, the third house is how I communicate. It's how I think. Okay. So having this event happen there, typically you're going to be an optimistic thinker. Okay. Typically you are going to be an individual who, hold on, let me check this out. Capricorn. Okay. So what's going to happen? Hold on, I lost my, okay, we're back. So what's going to happen for Scorpios is this, the second house. It's your second house where the whole Jupiter and Venus and the galactic center. Now, again, that's income. That's house of gains. That's the house of my resources, what I value. Okay. So you also just want to be aware that it's the house of my desires. So therefore, what I want, I'm going to get, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to accumulate. All right, so for Scorpio risings, this reading is probably going to hit you like spot on. You're going to understand it when the time comes. So realize that there's as we move along now, and when Venus gets into Capricorn, she's then going to be in your third house. Okay, that's what I was trying to tie. Okay, let's back up. Trying to tie in the third house of thinking and communication, because Venus will go there, okay? And this is going to happen at the end of November for you. And when she gets there, the third house is how we think, what we think about. Now, you already have Capricorn there, which means being responsible, understanding your tangible responsibilities, understanding the world, understanding time, understanding don't cheat. You know, you got to do things by the book. And sometimes you just got to be patient. Sometimes you just got to wait. So this is to your benefit. And Venus being there will be an additional benefit, because Venus there says, hey, she locks in on what's tangible and what's real, like what's in the material, physical world, and says, okay, these are my responsibilities. So if I did get some money, I kind of think I want to take care of this other thing first. I would just feel better because it's what's going to be best for my long term. And that's Capricorn. That is Saturn. Thinking long term. Understanding, you know what? I want to think down the road a bit. I may have this right now, but if I look down the road, there might be a dry spell and I might need this. Or I understand there's this bill that's going to be coming up, or this expense, you know, whatever it is, you know, in your life. How that works, especially, I mean, this is pretty typical. This is going to be like December we're talking, because then we're right, end of November, but then it dips into November. Now, November is where we have what I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, this eclipse. The eclipse happens the day after Christmas, okay? It is on December 26th, and an eclipse means change. A change is coming, okay? This is a solar eclipse. It is a south node solar eclipse. So what that means for you in your life, Scorpio risings, Scorpio ascendant, that means you have to let go of something. Let go of something. Now, this is in your third house, so that means you have to change a belief system, your way of thinking about something. Let's put it that way. It's not even so much a belief system yet. A belief is something that you've kind of locked onto and you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is my belief. It's rock solid. I don't change. I don't fluctuate off of that path. The third house is your thinking. And that's what we're talking about. You have Capricorn there. And I mentioned beliefs because that's the polar opposite. This is the third house. This is the ninth house of belief. The third house is my thinking, how I communicate. We haven't really figured out what we believe yet here. You follow? So you're still very mutable. You're still very flexible in your thinking. But because it's in Capricorn, you are likely going to be, you take action on those thoughts, which means you'd want to think them through first, okay? So now having Venus there and having, well, an eclipse is happening there at 4 degrees. Now remember, this is on December 26th. I know I'm saying a lot of numbers and a lot of dates. You just rewind and listen again and you'll get clarity. But December 26th, the eclipse begins. It begins, but remember, it's not like, okay, on this day. That's not how an eclipse works. An eclipse literally lays like an imprint, an energetic imprint on a location in your chart. And what it does is every time a planet passes that point, it lights up again. And it brings up, it touches that energy, and those energies meld, and they literally kind of become one. And they each bring their own essence to the party, right? If you're thinking about ingredients, or if you're making a stock or something, they bring their own ingredients to the party type of thing, or to the kitchen, and they work together. So you feel both the effects. An eclipse, like I said, means change. And this particular eclipse, because it's a south node solar eclipse, it means I have to let go of something old, some way of thinking that I had, some way of thinking about a tangible, material, physical thing, some way of thinking about a tangible, physical, material thing pertaining to work, okay, pertaining to government, pertaining to business. This is all in your third house, pertaining to the way you communicate about the things that you think about. Now, the third house, if we want to talk about the third house in a tangible, physical way, it's my siblings. The third house is my community. So your neighbors, people in your community. That could be people that you're at church with, like people that are in your community where you live, in your surrounding, your immediate surroundings. That is your third house. That's why when we're younger, it's our siblings. When we get older, what is your immediate surroundings? Yeah, could definitely be an associate at work, right? The third house is also marketing. It's also the internet, social media. It's sales. It's business. Third house is the merchant. Okay, third house is Mercury. Mercury type things is someone who's keeping track of the business numbers, the digits, right? They're doing the books. So this is very exciting. It means we are letting go of something that no longer serves us so that we can make room for something to come in, something new to come through. And I'm excited about that, and you should be as well. But what that means in the bigger picture is that this change is going to be occurring over the next 3 to 5 years, okay, for this eclipse energy. So it's in that location of your third house. This is in Capricorn. Now, why does this matter? Because when we get to 2020, January 2020, we have a big conjunction with Saturn and Pluto, okay? So now take into consideration all the things I just talked about. All those areas for your third house, Capricorn energy. Saturn and Pluto are there. They're going to be conjunct at 23 degrees. This is roughly on the 13th of January 2020. Now, depending upon where other things are located in your chart, will give more meaning as to what this will mean for you specifically. This is a Scorpio ascendant general reading. If you want me to look into more of those details for you, just comment your info down below and we'll hook you up. If you're new here, again, as always, Go down below and comment your birth info. So that time, January 2020, we want to be, you're going to be highly aware because you're going to be thinking like all this will be on, it's already been happening because Saturn's already in your third house. Saturn's already in, or I'm sorry, Pluto's also already there, but they'll be together now. They'll be holding hands. So they become concentrated. The energy becomes concentrated. Okay. And let's think, what does Pluto do? Pluto releases things. How does Pluto release things? That's another way of saying Pluto changes things. Pluto kills something, so to speak. Pluto doesn't mean Pluto's going to come in and kill your siblings. No, it doesn't mean that. It has a lot to do with Pluto maybe changing the way you spoke and communicated with your siblings. Like that way you did that doesn't work anymore. It did when you were kids, but you're adults now and it doesn't work anymore. It's like throwing out the old programming, getting rid of it and getting the new download, right? You got to get an update. This is very relevant for Capricorn risings. It's time for an update, okay? It's time to hit the refresh button. That's what this is. It's the way you think, okay? And it's the way you think about working. It's the way you think about government. It's the way you think about any existing structures, because that's what Capricorn is. And Pluto is about, it's time to transform it. It's time to change it. It's a restructuring. It's a reconstruction. And it's a reconstruction, but it's working, a reconstruction working for your long term. So as long as you keep focused on the long term and what's going to, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 15? You know, where do you see yourself in 20? Like realistically, what are my goals? Let your soul come through and speak to you. That is what this month of November is about. I've done, like I said, videos about that. You can go down below and find your video. If you also want more information and you don't want to have to, you know, try to get a cheaper reading, you can get the free ones. If you go down below, you'll see all the videos down there. It shows all the rising signs. You can use that pertaining to your sun, moon, and ascendant. So you look up your ascendant reading. Right? For this video, you look up a Scorpio ascendant. Then, if you want to understand your moon and your sun, you can listen to those other videos. No, they're not going to be exact, but they will give you an essence. They will give you a taste. They will give you a correct general overview of what will be going on in your life at that time. Okay? So with that, I'm ending this video here. I want you to stay calm, okay, and think long term. I'm out. Bye.